Welcome to Inside the Rule Book. I'm Will, and today we're kicking things off with a question that sounds simple, but it really isn't. What the heck is the PRCA? Depending on who you ask, it's a rule book, a business, a good old boys club, or the reason someone got fined last week. All been there. But the truth is, the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association is the backbone that keeps rodeo a profession, not just a weekend hobby. Let's open the first few pages of the 2025 PRCA Rule Book and see how this whole thing got started. The year was 1936, and rodeo wasn't exactly the polished televised sport we know today. Prize money was inconsistent, rules changed from town to town, and cowboys often left the arena with little more than dust and disappointment. That's when a handful of riders and ropers decided to do something bold: organize. They filed papers under the name Cowboys Turtle Association because, as the story goes, they were slow to organize, but finally stuck their neck out. It was the first time rodeo cowboys came together to stand up for fair pay, consistent rules, and a voice in how the sport was run. Over time, that little group evolved, first into the Rodeo Cowboys Association, and later into what we now know as the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, or PRCA. By the time the PRCA officially incorporated in 1954, the groundwork was already decades deep. Those early cowboys had built something that turned rodeo from a loosely organized pastime into a legitimate professional sport, one that could support full-time athletes, sanction events, and national championships. Right out of the gate, their goals were clear, and they're written plain as day in Article 3 of the PRCA's Articles of Incorporation. The purpose was to encourage, promote, and advance the sport of rodeo, to make sure cowboys had the fair prize money, honest judging, and rules that didn't change with every county line. They wanted to raise the standards of cowboy contests so rodeo could rank among the foremost of American sports. That line might sound formal, but it's pure cowboy ambition. They weren't just trying to survive, they were building a future for the sport they loved. As the association grew, so did its purpose. The PRCA became the central hub for everything: event approval, membership, insurance, standings, judging, and the creation of a true professional structure. In short, they turned the chaos of cowboy contest into an organized system that could support a livelihood. Every rule in that 200-plus page book has one goal behind it: fairness. Fair stock draws, fair payoffs, fair standards. Whether you're a bronc rider in Cheyenne or a steer wrestler at a local fair rodeo, the rules are there to make sure everyone plays on level ground. But make no mistake, the PRCA isn't just a list of rules. It's a living organization. It has a board of directors, elected officers, member councils, and even a full headquarters in Colorado Springs. I have been there. It is very nice. It's right above the Hall of Fame. You should check that out if you guys ever get a chance. And like family, it's had its share of arguments, rewrites, and reinventions, all in the name of keeping rodeo alive and respected. To put it simply, the PRCA exists to protect both the sport and the cowboys. It ensures that rodeo committees treat contestants fairly, that sponsors get a reliable product, and that fans get a true professional show, not a backyard free-for-all. The association even set out to preserve the historical integrity of the sport, because rodeo isn't just entertainment, it's a living piece of Western history. And while most people think of the PRCA as the rule enforcers or the folks who send out fines, that's not really the heart of it. The PRCA's real job is to make sure the cowboy way stays respected, from the smallest circuit rodeo to the bright lights of the NFR. On the next episode, we're going to talk about something fans never think about: membership. Because joining the PRCA isn't just a transaction, it's a commitment. You're signing on to a code, a community, and yes, there's a bunch of paperwork. But before we head there, let's recap. The PRCA's roots go back to 1936 with the Cowboy Turtle Association. It officially incorporated into 1954 as the PRCA we know today. Its purpose is laid out in Article 3 of the Rule Book: promote the sport, protect the contestants, and raise rodeo to the top level of America's sports. It's not just an organization, it's the foundation of professional rodeo as we know it. That's our first look inside the rule book. Again, I'm Will, and hopefully this gave you a clearer picture of how the PRCA came to be, not just as a governing body, but as the movement that turned rodeo into a real career. Next time, we'll dig into what it actually takes to carry that PRCA card, who gets one, what it means, and why it's more than just a piece of paper. The next episode will be called Membership Ain't Just a Card. Until then, stay safe, ride rank.